Every strike of the clock's second hand resounded in my chest. I tried to ignore it, but its presence was taunting me. Who are you kidding? Where is this colorful internal life that keeps you so thoroughly entertained? Did it just get up and go? Where did it go? It was just me, that clock, and my complete disappointment. I'm Pamela Portnoy.
I'm Alexa Marie Anderson.
And no one's okay. That was weird. That was so weird. We literally looked up at each other at the same exact time and went, dun, 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 dun. Okay.
We ruined it now.
But we're definitely in
Oh my.
We were just having a deep conversation about virtual reality and we're in it now. We're thoroughly.
It's all I can think about.
We found each other in this dimension,
yes.
Alexa.
That's exciting.
Oh my God. All right. What do we do?
We did an exercise where we went 2 hours. we did an exercise where we went 2 hours.
That's what
without
she
tech.
said. Without tech.
Without tech, yes. It was interesting.
I was avoiding this exercise for a really long time, actually. We're like, we should do an exercise that kind of gets us back to neutral. And you got it done within the week.
I got it done, but I feel like I didn't do it correctly. Well, not that I didn't do it correctly. I just didn't allow myself. I kept distracting myself with things that weren't tech. So I did the exercise, but I was in my room, and there's a lot of stuff. I have a lot of things on the walls, like shelves and like little like perfume bottles and stuff like that. And I don't know. I just kept distracting myself with things. I was like opening candles and smelling stuff. I was spraying perfumes on myself at one point that I'd never smelled before.
Your room is very entertaining for stuff like that, though. Honestly, like Alexa's room is like a 1950s like movie star dressing room bedroom. It's like pink and feminine, and like it has all this like perfumes and like just like really cool like photos and like really fun things to look at. So like I'd be entertained in your room too.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kept trying to distract myself. I don't think I really wanted to sit there with my own thoughts.
Why not?
I don't know.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I don't know. I kept trying to distract myself from just sitting with my own thoughts. So that's interesting. That's what I found out.
But you got the exercise done.
I did it. I mean, I did it. I just feel like I kept, like I really wasn't sitting there and just like being. Like I wasn't.
It's just out of control.
I wasn't being present in the moment. I like used I read a book and I journaled a little bit. I don't know. I just kept I was like just trying to keep myself entertained without tech, I guess.
Yeah. I was putting this off for weeks. I got this done like I think 2 or 3 weeks after Alexa did
Yeah,
hers.
I was like, Pam, did you do it? Did you do your boredom exercise yet?
She's checking in on me like my mom.
I was like curious. I was like, I wonder how it went
What
for
are
her.
you doing today? Oh, I have work, I have this and that. And so you have a free evening? You should do your boredom exercise.
I'm so awful.
It was needed, honestly. I was avoiding it at all costs. I knew that it would be tricky, even though I really felt in my bones that I think I knew I would just be disappointed in myself, because I like to think that I can keep myself completely entertained with my own, brain, my own thoughts, my own internal life. But because I also noticed that my dependence on my phone and computer and my television has dramatically increased over the last couple of years. And so I think I knew that I would fail at this, or just really deeply struggle at this. So I totally put it off. But it was really kind of valuable, I think, at the end of the day, to do it. I was, I taped myself.
Oh yeah, we both
taped ourselves to kind of just see
I never watched mine.
I did. I watched clips from it because it's long. It's 2 hours.
Yeah, I think I watched up into the point where I dropped the candle wax on my
dead.
And then I left my room and I did talk to my roommate for a little bit.
Cheater.
I know, because I needed to clean it and I didn't want it to stay. I don't know.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right. There's no wrong way to do the stuff that we're exploring.
It's true. This is true.
After I taped myself, I sat down on my couch and I felt just really antsy after I put my phone away. And I was wondering, I'm like, am I just feeling so twitchy and antsy because I've just been exposed to all this blue light from my screens that I just have all this energy? Probably. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know the science behind it, but probably, because it took me about a good 15 minutes to just calm down.
I would agree with that. I started out just sitting with nothing, and I think I changed positions 5 times.
Just so twitchy.
Yeah, I was laying upside down. I was
what?
I don't know why. I just kept changing different positions on my bed. I was I don't know how to be comfortable right now. I was very, yeah.
It was the same thing. I was looking out my window and I was shifting. I was changing legs, and it was just completely bizarre. I had all this pent up energy. But then something kind of cool happened is you relax into it. Maybe it's because you detox from the blue light for 1 second. And then, you just start to think, and you could see on the video, I start to kind of chill and I move less. But then I grabbed my book, which we allowed. We allowed books and a piece of paper and pen, which I think is fair.
Yeah, I think when I was reading, that was the most calm I was.
Yeah.
Just relaxed, yeah.
I would agree. What did you read?
Daring Greatly.
I have that one. That's a story of my life. I have that book, but I haven't read it. That's
you need to read it. I haven't finished it, but I've been reading it slowly but surely.
That's Pam in a nutshell. I have the book, but I haven't read it yet. It's I love book shopping more than I love clothes shopping. Do you hear my throat? It's out of control. But I love book shopping way more. So I have that book and I will get to it.
You should read it. It's a really good book. It teaches you a lot of stuff and opens your mind to things. It's good.
I'm going to check it out for sure. I was reading J.D. Palmer's The Monster, which is the second installation of his trilogy. Shout out to Jackson Palmer.
Yeah.
He's a good friend of mine. His trilogy is pretty fucking spectacular. Heavy, dark, but really good read.
I need to read that. I think I would really like it.
I think you would. It's adventure. It's all the things. Beautiful writing. But I reached for that. I read that for a while, and then I started journaling like a madman. I was just all over the page. I don't know why everything that's coming out of my mouth is that's what she said right now. I'm
okay.
On a whole different plane of thought right now. Why don't you talk right now?
Okay. Speaking of journaling, I think I should probably do that more. I did it a little bit when I did the boredom exercise, and I've done it a couple other times in my life. I think when I was living on the East Coast, I used to journal more because I would take rides on the megabus up to New York.
The megabus?
Yeah.
That's what it's called?
Oh, yeah. I forget people don't know. You don't know what I'm talking about. It's a double-decker bus. They go other places too, I think, from Pittsburgh to Chicago and Washington, D.C., but New York City is a place that it goes, and you get on the megabus. And I would take the overnight one a lot because it was easiest with, work and stuff.
Nice.
And I would journal a lot on my way up on the megabus. And that was really peaceful and meditative. I should probably start doing that again. It was good.
I would really like to be a regular journaler, but I noticed that the only times I really journal, it's in big transition periods or when I'm really, really upset and just to get something out on paper. Mm-hmm. But I feel if you do it regularly, I feel it would have some really beneficial therapeutic effects.
Oh, absolutely. Venting, I probably should just grab a journal instead of calling people up.
I really don't think you should. I think you should still call me up and yell.
It's always
into the abyss.
It's always good. I'm sure you, my parents, they just love it. They're like, here she goes again.
She's unraveling.
What do we do?
No, I always love listening to you vent, but I think it's so beneficial. I don't know. I don't even remember what I was journaling.
I can't remember. You know what's funny? I can't remember what I was journaling about either.
But I was just with a fury, just going at it, and then I finally put that down. And I kept looking at the clock after that.
Yeah, I did a really good job of not looking at the clock for the first like hour and a half maybe.
Not my phone clock, my wall clock.
So I did look at my phone clock.
What?
I had to.
You didn't tell me you touched your phone?
I had to. It was filming, and I just touched it and saw the time and then walked away from it.
You failed.
I did not fail. I didn't do anything else. I just looked at the time. I don't have a clock in my room. So I think I do have a clock on my wall somewhere, but it needs batteries.
This was a no tech exercise.
I didn't
You broke rule number 1.
All right. Anyways, once I checked once, that's when it got tricky because then I like kept wanting to check. Like it was, I couldn't help it. And then the closer to the time of me being done, I like was getting very like frustrated. I was like, okay,
me
like
too.
let's just end this now. Like I was,
I noticed I started getting antsier and just more. I started getting mad and like annoyed.
Yeah, I was just like over it, like.
Which is really funny because I told everyone that I was going to do this exercise. I don't know why. I was like, I probably told more people that I was doing the boredom exercise than I told we were going skydiving.
That's weird.
Spoiler alert. I don't know what order we're going to release these in, but we went skydiving. But yeah, no, I told more people about the boredom exercise than about the skydiving. And I was like, I don't know. Do I need moral support for sitting without my phone for 2 hours? This is pathetic and a half.
I don't think I told anyone about the boredom exercise. I just like wanted to get it done. I was like, we have to do this and I'm going to do it. And that's going to be it. Like, just get through it.
Dreading it. But someone told me that it's interesting that we're doing this because boredom is the last stronghold of rage, which I totally saw that towards the end of our exercise. I was just getting like annoyed. I'm like, why has only 15 minutes gone by? Why I feel, because we set our alarms, right? For like 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, why isn't this alarm going off? Am I just going to sit here forever? Like, I was just completely.
I was like, I have stuff to do. Like, I could be doing, like, actually, that is a thought I kept having. I was like, I could be doing things right now. I could be getting things done, which is actually very interesting now that I'm thinking about that because I feel like that has a lot to do with, like, our culture, too. It's like, go, go, go all the time.
You just need to feel like you're doing something productive.
Yes.
But the funny thing is, I feel like this was probably more productive than a lot of the other things that we do because we were, like.
I was taking a minute for myself,
just putting the engines back to neutral.
Finding neutral. Yeah, that's super important, and I don't ever do it.
Ever.
Ever.
And you know, I don't meditate. I would love to be someone that meditates, honestly.
I used to, in one of my dance classes in college, we used to meditate at the beginning of every class, and I remember thinking it was so stupid. I was like, why are we lying on the ground breathing? Like, why?
We do, in my acting class, we do a breathing exercise at the beginning of every class. And I always like it. Sometimes I'm a little resistant towards it. But everyone usually lies on the floor. But lately I've been, like, sitting. And I think I use, like, excuse me, I'm shifting, you guys. I'm just shifting. Usually I think I convinced myself to sit because I know that when you're in an audition waiting room, I'm not going to just lay on the floor in front of all the other actors. Like, everyone's going to be like, what the fuck is she doing lying on the floor doing her breathing exercises?
Like, look at that weirdo. What does she practice?
I want to practice it, like, sitting in my chair, like not, drawing any attention to myself and kind of.
No, that's smart.
But I do enjoy a good breathing exercise, but I do find that my mind wanders away from, like, what we're focusing on. And I'm like, I'm just going to think about what I want to think about right now.
I've noticed that for myself, this isn't like your typical meditating, like lying on the floor doing nothing. But what I find super meditative is cooking. I think I've told you this before.
She's a great cook, you guys.
I love to cook. And so my thing, and I think this has really helped, this actually, I think I started doing this and this has helped me get back to neutral, is listening to jazz music and making risotto. And most people, I'm sure, don't just make risotto. So
the risotto she makes is out of control.
It kind of takes a long time, and a lot of making it is stirring it. Mm-hmm. And something about just like sitting there with like a glass of wine and like the jazz music and just stirring the risotto is like super therapeutic for me.
Yeah,
that sounds totally insane, but like that is like totally my like time to like decompress.
I totally get that. I'm kind of jealous because I can't cook for shit.
You can. We just need to get you the tools to do so.
The abilities.
No, not
you
even
mean
the
the
abilities.
actual
I mean,
tools?
yeah, because I actually tried to cook risotto at Pam's apartment once, and lo and behold, she doesn't even have a cutting board. So
Okay, I am sorry.
I was like, what do I do here?
You improvised beautifully, though.
I tried.
You
I tried.
did.
No, it was fine. You've got other amazing skills.
Thank you for reaching for that
I
compliment
did
so
not.
easily.
I did not. Not everyone has to cook.
That's amazing.
But back to talking about neutral.
Mm.
It's important to be able to find your neutral so that you can, I mean, especially in acting, obviously,
Mhm.
you need to be able to find your neutral so that you can take on a character.
Yeah, how do you know what is going to make someone else tick if you don't know what makes you tick?
Exactly. I love that. I love when you say that. That's like my best. That's my favorite Pam quote, and I definitely like stole that a little bit too. Like I think I've told people that. I'm like,
You can
Do you know
totally
what?
borrow it. You know what?
you know what?
How do you tell you something?
I need to start giving you credit though.
No, you don't. You can absolutely have that.
Thanks.
Listen, everyone can have that one. I think it's so true because if you're like all over the place and you're like, I don't know who I am or what I'm doing, or which, you know, I think is normal for like, it's like the human condition, like
Mhm.
when you're growing and all that stuff. Like, but I think it's important to try to find neutral as much as possible and like understand yourself as much as possible. And keep in mind, like, I don't know jack shit about this. Like, I am in process just like everyone else.
Yeah, everyone's learning and growing, but
practicing this.
and being self-aware, just being self-aware and
Totally. It helps you be a better actor, a better listener. Because we were just talking about this, the whole tech thing, having the screen right in front of our face at all times kind of takes away from paying attention to what's going on right in front of you in like the physical world.
yeah,
And then what's the first thing they teach you when you act?
listening.
Listening. So if you're, you know, used to the distraction of your phone and you're not listening to people on the day-to-day, like, how are you going to put your full attention on your partner?
Absolutely. Like listening is huge. I mean, not even just in acting, just in everyday. I mean, you see people walking down the street on their phones, not paying attention to anything that's happening around them.
Pet peeves, like dinner, like going to dinner or drinks with someone and they're like on their phone the whole time. Like, I understand like checking like an important
How are you
email
supposed to
or
connect?
whatever,
How are you
but,
supposed to
like,
connect with someone? It's impossible. It's completely impossible. And this whole technology thing is teaching us to be terrible listeners.
Yeah.
A lot of times people, I mean, have you ever gone out with someone and like they're on their phone while you're talking and then like basically they're just waiting for their turn to talk?
Yes.
It's a lot of like people just like sitting there waiting for their turn to talk about themselves.
Honestly.
Actually, they're not even listening to what you're saying.
Listen, I'm guilty of this too. I went to
We all do it. Yeah.
I went to Montana to go visit some friends, and we were going on a float trip. We were going to go rafting, which was amazing. We went for like 5 hours on the river, and we brought sandwiches, we brought drinks. It was like amazing. But I had made the choice to leave my phone in the car because what am I going to do with my phone on the river? Like,
Right. No, that's such a smart
Stupid.
choice, actually.
But I remember for like 20 minutes after I left it in the car, I was like, oh my God, what if I got a call? What if I get an email that I need to answer like right away? What am I going to do? And I was legitimately anxious and like debating whether to turn back for a good 20 minutes. And then after that, I kind of forgot about it because I started to pay attention to like, you know, getting the boat in the water and, you know, suiting up. And I totally forgot about the phone, and guess what? I did get some texts and emails, but like everything ended up being okay.
Yeah. Nothing.
It
you
was
didn't-
a Saturday.
right.
It was gonna be all right.
and it's important to take time away from it. Like,
It's quality time with these people, and like
yes.
that's
Yes,
way
exactly.
better.
Honestly, there's been a few times where like I've left my phone behind for things, and at first I get a little bit like anxious, like you have the urge to like reach for it and you don't have it. But honestly, I look back on those experiences where I didn't have my phone at all, and I remember them so much more vividly because I was
100%.
I was so present in the moment. And a lot of times those moments where I didn't have my phone with me are like my best memories.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Speaking of the urge to grab your phone, I will mention that I don't know if anyone out there has the same problem, but sometimes I will actually feel like if I have my phone on me or my pocket, I will feel my phone vibrate and I go to look and there's nothing there.
I swear to you, I've never had the sensation of, thinking that my phone vibrated, but I have had, which I don't know if this is worse, and I realized this the other day. I don't know if this is worse, Alexa, but I have a very distinct ringtone.
Yeah,
I have the
do.
Harry Potter theme
Yeah,
song.
yeah, you do.
One of the Harry Potter songs. I think it's from the Yule Ball. Sorry. Okay.
The
But
fact
sorry.
that
Okay,
you
let's
know
be
that.
honest.
Don't be
Sorry,
sorry.
not sorry.
Yeah, don't apologize.
I'm a big Harry Potter fan. But I can hear that ringtone sometimes, and I didn't get a call.
I'm sure that's a thing. I mean, I actually looked it up because I was like, am I crazy? Like, I legitimately feel the vibration. And I looked it up, and it's actually a psychological disorder that like a percentage of people have.
Or a parallel universe.
Oh, yeah. See,
I'm getting a call in a
maybe
different dimension.
Maybe I was. Maybe I'm not crazy after all.
Oh my God. But I think these kind of exercises are teaching us to be better humans. Acting kind of teaches you to be a better human.
Yeah, I feel like acting has definitely made me a well-rounded person, for sure.
Getting back to, which honestly is so contradictory to like what a lot of people think actors are, like the stereotypes of what actors are, which like drives me bananas. Like every time I tell someone that I'm an actress, they
you get
roll
the eye
their
roll. I
eyes.
know, every time. I hate it because people like. I was just chatting with someone the other day, and they ask you like, oh, where are you from, like blah blah blah, and they go, oh, why'd you move here? And I'm like, acting, and they always look at me like I have 5 heads, and I'm like, great. Wonderful.
I've seen it in dating. I've seen it just like meeting people older than me. It's like we have a bad rep, and it makes me sad, but honestly, if you're really pursuing it seriously, you are becoming better.
Well, because it's working on yourself. It's working on yourself.
At least in my experience and the people that I surround myself with and who are trying to be actors.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're an actor, you're constantly working on yourself and trying to better yourself and therefore betters your work.
I get that sometimes like it can be a selfish endeavor because it's like riddled with like so much rejection.
I know.
But at the end of the day, we're just trying to be better so that we can do better work, but also like lead better lives.
Yeah.
At least I'm going to speak for myself.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, we can't speak for everyone, but...
Yeah, guys. Get it together out there.
Get it together. We don't want a bad rap.
So I'm definitely going to do this more often. I don't know about you.
I definitely need to do it. I
haven't.
I actually, it's interesting. I thought that I hadn't been doing it, but I actually did start just like lying on my floor. I'm listening to music. I listen to jazz music a lot. That's super therapeutic for me. I love jazz.
Listen to a lot of Frank.
I listen to a lot of Frank, Ella Fitzgerald. My God, I just love it. But anyways, I've started like kind of just like lying on my floor recently and just listening to music for a good like 20-25 minutes just before bed, and that honestly has really helped. I didn't really think of it as meditating, to be honest with you. Honestly, it just felt like a need. I was like, I need to just lie on the floor and listen to jazz. I didn't really think too much into it. I was like, I need this now, so I'm gonna do it.
That's lovely.
But now that I'm thinking back on it through this conversation, I'm like, oh, that's like my way of like meditating, kind of.
You know, it's funny. I realized that I dim the lights, I turn on some candles, and I like dance around a little bit. Like I'm not going to say like a lame because I'm not going to judge it, but like it really makes me feel better.
No, it's not lame. You're talking to the girl that like puts
know,
on full-blown musicals in her room, okay?
Full tech
and
props.
lights. I'm like, gosh, like the performances I've had in my bedroom. Oh, wait, that's...
Tell me more about these performances.
We're done here. I'm done.
Must be nice.
Oh my God, that's not what I meant. Not what I meant at all. Nope. But yeah.
So what are some of your favorite performances of Boredom? Which I just think it's a hilarious question. It took me a while to think of something.
It took me a while to think of it too, but then I thought back to a very funny scene that I really like from Sex and the City 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm a Sex and the City fan.
You got me into that show.
I'm a fan. Kim Cattrall as Samantha. There is a part in wait, now I'm like second guessing myself. I'm like, is it the second one or the first one? Anyways, one of them. I'm pretty sure it's No, maybe it is the first. I lied.
One of the cities of sex.
Doesn't matter. Anyways, she's living in LA actually with her boyfriend, and he's working, and it's Valentine's Day, and she makes homemade sushi for him, and she lays I just think it's so funny. She lays it on her naked body and waits for him on this table, and he like never comes home, and she's like lying there, and he like leaves a message for her on the like voicemail and is like, hey, gonna be late, and she's like lying there just like losing her shit because she's covered in sushi, and like hours and hours go by, and she finally like ends up like getting up and like
Did
showering,
she start eating it?
I think she did eat a piece. But like it goes back to saying that like boredom is the last stronghold of rage.
Yeah.
Because when he gets home, he doesn't think it's like a big deal at all. He's like, sorry, I let you know I called and blah, blah, blah. And she like grabs a sushi roll and throws it at his head.
Oh my God.
Because she's just like totally lost it that she was like waiting around.
I wonder what she was thinking in that moment. Did they have any like voiceover of that moment? I should probably watch it.
I think there was voiceover of that moment because a lot of times Sarah Jessica Parker's character, Carrie, she does voiceovers throughout the thing, and I think there was a little bit of voiceover of her during it. But yeah, it was just so fun. And I could relate. I hate waiting for people when they say they're going to be home at a certain time. It drives me
oh my God,
crazy. Or they're going to be there at a certain time, like, oh yeah, I'll be there at 8, and then it's like 9:30 and you're like, ugh.
I'm not going to lie. I'm probably like on the other side of that equation. I'm probably the one keeping people waiting at times. I'm really trying better at being punctual.
You really are not
Trying
that
more.
bad, and I can be late too myself, but it's like when people have like no qualms about it, like they just show up when they want to show up.
Well, it's also like when you try to surprise someone, like ultimately, like
Yeah.
it very rarely works.
Oh yeah.
It very rarely
Well,
works
it's like-
in my experience.
And that's why I love that scene, because she was so excited, and the boredom of it just totally kills her vibe. And then she gets angry. Like, it's the whole spectrum.
I'm not lying here with like sexy sushi. I'm just lying here with like rice in my crevices.
Yeah, she was like, oh yeah, that's one of the lines. She's like, I've had wasabi where one should never have wasabi.
Oh my God.
It is literally, I mean, I just think it's so funny and like so relatable. I'm like, girl, yeah, hate waiting for people.
That's amazing. I need to watch that scene.
You do, it's good. It's pretty good. What's yours?
I was getting a little bit like I was veering a different path with my answers.
Oh.
I thought about time because the men in that movie have just a lot of time on their hands because they figured out, spoiler alert, time travel. And one of the characters just reads a lot in his spare time, and I just feel like he is the epitome of like back to neutral.
Like, he's totally content with it. Like, he's not,
Yeah, he knows how to pass the, not endless, but the great amount of time that he has on his hands.
Yeah.
Like, he spends time with his family, like, plays table tennis. He reads a ton. And I just thought that was beautiful. And that kind of reminded me of the exercise that we were trying to do, what we were really trying to accomplish. And then I thought about Fight Club. And I, particularly as it relates to boredom being the last stronghold of rage. Because as I saw it a long time ago, but as far as I remember, like, the people in Fight Club, they are dealing with like a lot of like loneliness and like their own like day-to-day lives and their struggles with what they deal with every day, and taking the rage of that, I don't want to say mediocrity, but boredom.
Yeah.
The monotony of their day-to-day out by like punching each other's faces. And you know, it was interesting because I actually looked up that movie recently, and apparently people were starting fight clubs because they were bored. Like in real life. I didn't know this.
That's fascinating.
I didn't know this. Maybe I'm just naive, but I'm
I
sure
didn't
fight
know
clubs
that.
like exist, obviously.
Yeah,
but
I didn't.
boredom and rage are very closely connected.
And you don't really, I wouldn't have thought. Like, it's not something if someone said that to me, I'd be like, what? But like, now that we did the exercise and like thinking about it,
I was so irritated.
I was very irritated.
If someone were to like walk into my apartment and be like, let's go punch something, I'd be like, yes,
Sure.
let's go.
Absolutely, yeah.
Alexa,
Mm-hmm.
are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Are you?
I'm all right. You know, making
Oh,
it
she's
through.
breaking the rules.
Am I, though?
She's still over this.
Yeah. Ugh. Probably because I'm not okay. So every time someone asks me, I'm like, must I answer?
No, you don't have to.
Yeah. Meh.
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 Not okay.
But you know what? Someday I will be. So that's exciting.
Eventually.
Eventually.
I think it's going to be way sooner than you think it is.
We'll see.
It's going to be all right.
Yes, it will be. I know that. I'm being dramatic.
Alexa's, one of her favorite pastimes is being dramatic.
Yeah. Pretty much. Hey, what are you going to do? At least I own it. I'm not one of those people like, I'm not dramatic.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I am.
I was watching
Deal
When
with
Harry
it.
Met Sally on the plane this weekend.
I love that movie.
It's really funny. And he was talking about, he's like, there are two kinds of women, high maintenance and low maintenance. And she's like, what kind am I? And he's like, you're the worst kind. You're high maintenance, but you think you're low maintenance.
Wait, you want to hear something so funny? Because you brought this up. My brother, he's 5 years younger than me. I don't need to go into details, but he was dating this girl in high school, and we were like joking with him one day. We were like, is she high maintenance? Like, what's going on there? Like, I don't know. We were just joking around. He was like, no, she's not high maintenance, and we're like, okay. And he's like, she's medium maintenance.
Ooh,
And I was like,
what does that mean?
I was like, I relate to that. I think I'll take that. Medium maintenance, just right in the middle.
Listen, I believe that everyone has her moments.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
human has their moments. We
Absolutely.
just have that phrase associated with us for some stupid reason.
Yeah, I think everything is. Everyone's capable of being.
I've seen some high maintenance men in my life.
Oh,
Everyone can be high
That's
maintenance.
for another episode. We'll just.
Alexa starts taking notes vigorously.
Let me write down the ways. Yeah, no, like, yeah, it's bad. It's terrible that women just get that rap because that is not gender specific.
Everyone can be.
Yeah.
High
I just thought it
maintenance.
was.
It depends.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that he said medium maintenance. I just never even like thought about it.
I really badly want to ask how.
Oh
no.
It's not. They're not together anymore, so we probably shouldn't go into that.
Oh my god. All right. Are you going to ask me if I'm okay?
Oh yeah, right.
So high maintenance.
Here I am, just sipping my rosé. Like we're done. Okay. Pamela, are you okay?
I am a little less than okay. But like I'm happy. I'm like doing it. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm inspired. So I'm not
Ooh.
okay. I'm inspired. Two of my friends are putting up a play, and it opens this weekend. I'm very excited. Shout out to Drew and James.
Yay.
They're putting up On an Average Day by John Colvinback. I'm so fucking excited. It's gonna be really good. I've seen them do like a scene or two here sporadically, and they're in it, like hardcore in it. And my friend Anna's producing it, and they have a great director, and they're just like putting it up for the next month at the Complex in Hollywood, and the performances are going to be spectacular. I'm very, very excited.
I'm excited. I'm gonna go.
You are going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So I'm inspired. I'm not okay. I'm inspired.
That's good.
Did you just wink at me?
I did.
They can't see that.
That was weird. I was like, this feels right.
Very good. Thanks so much for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the things. If for some reason you want to see more of us, you can follow us on Instagram at No One's Okay.
And a special thanks to Jordan Ross Weinhold, Sean Moore, Jason Crow, Claire Palmer, Jackson Palmer, Tiffany Haymoff, Shane Rings, James Liddell, and our podcast is recorded at Soundworks Studios. We can't wait to meet you! All right.
Boredom.
So, boredom.
We hope the Boredom Borecast podcast isn't boring.
This is our Borecast for today.
Welcome to our Borecast. We need to get it together. It's fine. My Pinot Grigio is working.
Yeah.